Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with some juice to get you through the long night. It's the creepiest month of the year, and it's time to explore all of the creepy shit the Game of Thrones world has to offer. I will be linking my October Creeptober playlist for your binge watching pleasure. So I wanted to bring you one of the most mysterious characters in the Game of Thrones universe, Quaithe. Everyone has different ideas about who she is and what she wants, and today we will try to figure it out. So Quaithe is mysterious, and with a lot of things, she is different in the show than she is in the books. In the show, we meet Quaithe in Qarth, and we meet her through Ser Jorah Mormont. But in the book, A Clash of Kings, Daenerys' arrival to Qarth is a lot different, and Quaithe seems to be a lot more important. Qarth and the people in it are creepy as hell. So in A Clash of Kings, Drogo rides ahead of Daenerys in the Red Waste and finds Qarth. He comes back with 3 people that wish to look upon Daenerys with their own eyes. The pale man with the blue lips replied in a guttural Dothraki, "I am Pyat Pri, the great warlock." The bald man with the jewels in his nose answered in the Valyrian of the Free Cities, "I am Xaro Zoandaxos of the 13, a merchant prince of Qarth." The woman in the lacquered wooden mask said in the common tongue of the 7 kingdoms, "I am Quaithe of the Shadow. We come seeking dragons." So the people that come for her and her dragons are Pyat Pri, not a good person, Xaro, not a good person, and Quaithe. So if birds of a feather flock together, is Quaithe a good person? Is any of her specific prophecy meaningful? Well, Qarth itself is a mysterious city. On the walls of Qarth, men beat gongs to herald her coming, while others blew curious horns that encircled their bodies like great bronze snakes. A column of camelry emerged from the city as her honor guards. The riders wore scaled copper armor and snouted helms with copper tusks, and long black silk plumes, and sat high on saddles inlaid with rubies and garnets. Their camels were dressed in blankets of 100 different hues. "Qarth is the greatest city that ever was or ever will be," Pyat Pri had told her, back amongst the bones of Vaes Toloro. "It is the center of the world, the gate between north and south, the bridge between east and west, ancient beyond memory of man, and so magnificent that Sethos the Wise put out his eyes after gazing upon Qarth for the first time, because he knew that all he saw thereafter should look squalid and ugly by comparison." Dany took the warlock's words well salted, but the magnificence of the great city was not to be denied. 3 thick walls encircled Qarth, elaborately carved. The outer was red sandstone, 30 feet high and decorated with animals, snakes slithering, kites flying, fish swimming, intermingled with wolves of the Red Waste and striped zorses and monstrous elephants. The middle wall, 40 feet high, was gray granite, alive with scenes of war, the clash of sword and shield and spear, arrows in flight, heroes at battle, and babes being butchered, pyres of the dead. The innermost wall was 50 feet of black marble, with carvings that made Dany blush, until she told herself that she was being a fool. She was no maid. If she could look on the gray walls scenes of slaughter, why should she avert her eyes from the sight of men and women giving pleasure to one another? Qarth is where the shade of the evening trees grow, the black bark trees with the inky blue leaves. Qarth is where the warlocks drink shade of the evening until their lips turn blue, watching visions of tomorrows not yet made. Qarth is the home of the Hall of 1,000 Thrones, where the descendants of ancient Qarthine kings sit in their chairs of gold, amber, jade, onyx, and lapis, locked in eternal battle for power with the Tourmaline Brotherhood, the 13, and the Spicers Guild. Qarth is the home of the ancient guild of assassins, the Sorrowful Men, who whisper "I'm so sorry" to their victims before they send them to meet whatever god they worship. Qarth is a mysterious port city with mysterious people, and the most mysterious of them all is Quaithe. Quaithe's first words to Daenerys is that she is seeking dragons. That actually makes sense when you look at the big picture. The other bad people that were with her, Pyat Pri and Xaro, both are seeking dragons as well. We know that Pyat Pri is trying to lure Daenerys to the House of Undying to kill her and take her dragons. And Xaro pesters her book after book trying to buy one. In the show, Xaro is completely different, but the show does a good job of summing him up. He means Daenerys no well, and by A Dance of Dragons, Book 5, Xaro and Qarth have declared war on Daenerys. So Quaithe is in bad company, but Quaithe's first words to Daenerys are a warning. From her, Dany received only a warning. "Beware," the woman in the red lacquer mask said. "Of whom?" "Of all. They shall come day and night to see the wonder that has been born again into the world. And when they see, they shall lust. For dragons are fire made flesh, and fire is power." So the last words of the quote makes you wonder if Quaithe is a creature of the Red God. Quaithe has some similarities with Melisandre. They are both mysterious shadowbinders that claim to hail from the shadow of Asshai. They both like red, and they both resonate fire with power. Quaithe may very well be a servant of R'hllor. Quaithe is constantly trying to give these warnings to Daenerys, but they are cryptic. Leave here, leave this place, for the truth you must go to this place. But why should Daenerys trust Quaithe when she's so sketchy and she's hanging with sketchy people? I don't think that she necessarily should trust Quaithe. She hoped that Xaro Zoan Daxos was not an enemy, but the Qarthine merchant had coveted her dragons, and there was Quaithe of the Shadow, that strange woman in the red lacquer mask with all her cryptic counsel. Was she an enemy too, or only a dangerous friend? Quaithe's first prophecy to Daenerys is a strange and cryptic message. To go north, you must journey south. To reach the west, you must go east. To go forward, you must go back. And to touch the light, you must pass beneath the shadow. When telling Daenerys this, Daenerys thinks it's Asshai, and she asks Quaithe what she will learn in Asshai, to which Quaithe says she will learn the truth there. So what truth is hiding in Asshai? And is Asshai even what Quaithe meant? So from Qarth, Daenerys goes west. So she paid no mind to Quaithe and seems to be doing just fine. But the general thought seems to be that this prophecy is referring to Daenerys going back to Vestothrak. And I believe the burning of the cause things will happen in the books, and Daenerys will fulfill the stallion who mounts the world prophecy. And maybe that's what Quaithe is trying to tell her. But the biggest and most cryptic message that comes from Quaithe while she's using a glass candle. A glass candle is a candle that's made from obsidian, dragon glass. All Valyrian sorcery was rooted in blood or fire. The sorcerers of the Freehold could see across mountains, seas, and deserts with one of these glass candles. They'd enter a man's dreams and give him visions, and speak to one another half a world apart, seated before their candles. Quaithe admits that this is how she is communicating with Daenerys. "Hear me, Daenerys Targaryen. The glass candles are burning. Soon comes the pale mare, and after her the others, Kraken and Dark Flame, Lion and Griffin, the Sun's Son and the Mummer's Dragon. Trust none of them. Remember the Undying. Beware the perfumed seneschal." So before we get into what the quote means, let's talk a little bit more about how the hell Quaithe is using a glass candle. Glass candles are rare. Marwyn the Mage has one that's burning at the Citadel. There are also like some other glass candles at the Citadel, I believe. There is one mysterious glass candle burning in Qarth, in the house of some mysterious man named Urathon Nightwalker. That's all we know about him. All we know about him is his name and that he has a glass candle. If we knew anything else about him other than his name and that he has a glass candle, then we might be able to find out more about if he is associated with Quaithe. But unfortunately, we don't know more about this person. Maybe it will be revealed later. The name is definitely associated with the Iron Islands. There was once a king during the Age of Heroes with the same name. So Quaithe warns Daenerys about some groups of people: the Kraken and Dark Flame, the Lion and Griffin, the Sun's Son, and the Mummer's Dragon, and she tells Daenerys to beware the perfumed seneschal. Daenerys immediately thinks that the perfumed seneschal is Resnek, but I think that the perfumed seneschal is Varys. The people I believe that Quaithe is referring to is Varys as the perfumed seneschal, Kraken and Darkflame are Makoro and Victarion Greyjoy, and the Lion and the Griffin is likely Tyrion and Jon Cunnington, and the Sun's Son and the Mummer's Dragon seems to be Quentin Martell and Fagon. Now, there is one thing that all these people have in common. They are all seeking dragons, or they're obsessed with dragons, which is no different than Quaithe's company the first time she met Daenerys. This makes me question if Daenerys should trust her. It's like Quaithe is saying, don't trust anyone seeking dragons but me, Khaleesi, but she can't even give her a message without it being cryptic. Nothing she says is straightforward. Everything is a damn riddle. Now, the reason Quaithe might not give straightforward messages is because she might not actually know shit. She may be like Melisandre, getting her own cryptic visions in the flames and just passing them along. In the show, she basically predicts that Ser Jorah will go through the ruins of Valyria and contact Grayscale, but this doesn't happen in the books. In the show, her role is changed so differently, I'm not sure why they even added her, but they did, so maybe she will circle back in season 8. She claims to want to show Daenerys the way and the truth, much like Melisandre wanted to show Stannis the way, but Quaithe is sketchy. There are theories that Quaithe is sheer a sea star and all kinds of theories out there, but in my opinion, Quaithe is indeed a servant of the Red God R'hllor, and she's telling Daenerys not to trust these people that will come seeking her because she's Azor Ahai, and the wars they will want to get her involved in Westeros won't matter. But what do you think about Quaithe? Seriously. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.